some stank on
Woo!
it.
Let's go.
Trying out some new music. You like it? Covino and Rich, Overpromised. Welcome to our bonus podcast because we always overpromise things we never get to. Fox Sports Radio is where you find us Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 on the West, 5 to 7 on the East, at Covino and Rich at Fox Sports Radio. Let's go.
Now, tonight is your night, bro. Tonight, the NBA Finals kick off.
Tonight.
Way to throw in some Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Billy Corgan, what's up? Tonight, NBA Finals start, and I just wonder if there's anyone rooting for the Boston Celtics outside of the New England area. I saw one of those maps, like who's rooting for who, and I genuinely feel like everyone's saying if Luka's going to win ever, now's the time.
Right. What's captivating the general public is Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're in Boston. So I'm tuning in to watch the dynamic duo. And Dan Beyer talked about that, and he's absolutely right. So
unless you're sitting in Boston with some chowder, you're hoping the Mavs win here. And Mark Cuban's a good dude, so I don't know. I'm pulling for the Mavs in 6.
got some action on it?
Not yet, but we'll talk about who does.
Yes.
In a little bit.
We'll talk about that. Plus, there's a new crop of must-watch athletes, right? There's a new crop of them. You could add to the list. You could play along at home. We'll get to that. Yeah. But first and first, mostly, this week was an anniversary.
Oh, yeah. It was an anniversary of the first ever baseball uniform.
Back in 1849.
That was a long time ago. Yo, look at this shit. The New York, not Yankees, not Mets, not Giants, the Knickerbockers. Before they were a basketball franchise, the New York Knicks were a baseball team that wore straw hats, bow ties, and suits while playing baseball. See?
Yeah. Where's your straw hats at? So they were the first to roll up in uniform as a team. Otherwise, people were just showing up with whatever they had.
Yeah. So they would take off the coats, and they had matching blue trousers, white shirts, and straw hats. Before the baseball cap was invented, you rocked a freaking straw hat while you played baseball.
Wow. So,
Wow.
The Knickerbockers, not the basketball team, the baseball team were the first to ever do it in the 1800s on this week, all those years ago. And we've seen the evolution. Rich is a big guy, a big uniform guy.
I love the alternate uniforms. I love teams when they mix it up. In baseball, I love the City Connects. And there's a few uniform stories that I think that are worthy to get into. But before we get into the NBA and baseball uniforms and a new football uniform, interestingly enough, the evolution of the basketball uniform, I had to look up because it was the anniversary of the baseball one. Back in the day, for basketball, people wore like full body suits and long sleeve shirts and regular street clothes. And then eventually, if you fast forward to the 1920s, they said for restrictive purposes, rebound, shooting the ball, they decided tank tops were it, and they haven't looked back 100 years ago.
And it continues to evolve, which is interesting, right?
Huge basketball shorts, tight little shorts, big shorts. Yeah.
There's always new variations. Like you said, alternate jerseys. And there's news about it today, in fact. So it's fun to look back. But it's fun to look back to see that they went from the Knickerbockers to whatever they went into, the Highlanders and Yankees or whatever. But, the red stockings and the white stockings and all the goofy names they had back then.
Nice
it's
legs.
just wild to see. No.
You ever think of the evolution of uniforms in every sport? I know you don't think of this shit like I do, but think about it. Like basketball, at one point, people were just playing street basketball, wearing whatever. Then it was like long sleeves, short sleeves. And then finally someone said, no, shorts and a tank top. And everyone's like, all right, forever now, that's it.
Old Jebediah went up for a three-point shot, and his thumb got caught in a suspender. And I think
that's it.
and that Huckleberry said, you know what? No more of the suspenders.
I mean,
so look, there's probably reasons to all of this and more. And what always interested me, too, as a sports fan, is why the basketball managers wore suits and why baseball managers wore the uniform, right? But they were player managers, too, and one of the last I remember was Pete Rose.
What's interesting is you said manager. In basketball, it's a coach. That's another weird thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it a coach or a manager? Depends on the sport. But you're right. They wear uniforms, the suit, and then the NBA went business casual or like, hey, you can wear a jumpsuit. I think if a guy like JJ Redick gets a coaching job, I wonder if some guys will bring back the suit.
It was cool to see Pat Riley throw the suit on in winning time.
Yeah, that shit was good.
That was cool to see how, he just wanted some respect, threw the suit on, and became the leader there.
I recently saw, I always get these on this day little updates on my phone. It was recently the anniversary also of the first plastic helmet in the world of Major League Baseball. To think about it.
Oh, you mean the one they served the ice cream in?
Yeah. Sixth inning, I usually get a little soft serve.
I'm going to celebrate that this weekend.
But think about it. Football, it was that old school pigskin leather helmet. And then they went, every year they try to evolve to a safer helmet. But the evolution of uniforms, to me, I could talk for hours about it. I won't, but what I will tell you is they released the schedule for the NBA Finals. And the Celtics, being the traditional team they are, for the most part, are going to rock their whites with the green and greens with the white. One game, they're going to rock those black jerseys, those Celtics. They call it the statement jersey. But that traditional, like the Tatum white.
Yeah, those are classics. I like it. Again, the uniforms for the NBA Finals were unveiled. The schedule's out. And, it does make you think about showing up as a fan with the colors on, with the jerseys on, feeling like you're part of the team.
Well, there's certain teams that I will always associate with like an odd uniform. Like when the Cavs won with LeBron and they beat the best team ever, Golden State Warriors, the 73-9 Warriors, I always picture the sleeved Cavaliers with just the C.
Well, yeah, these are the highlights that live. That's why it's important. I don't care as much as he does, but that is why it's important, because you'll see these highlights. Let's say the Mavericks win or the Celtics win. These are the ones that are celebrated for years to come until they win again.
It's funny you should say that, because if the Mavericks win in 6 or 7, you know what you're going to see them in? They're city editions, which is what fans are saying. Interesting, they're not going traditional. The Maverick City Edition, which spot is in that article, it's the one that just like in a fun little font says Mavs. That's the one that they're going to go with on games.
And those
1,
are the ones
6, and 7.
remembered. They live in your brain for the rest of your life when you're looking back at all the highlights on social media, because you don't get your SI DVD or VHS anymore looking back. But those highlights will live in these uniforms.
Scroll down, Spot. Look at the Mavs are going to be rocking that one right there. The black one, which is Mavs, that's the one that the Mavs are rocking in games 1, 6, and 7. So if they do win,
looks like a Pat McAfee tank top.
But you know what?
We'll see.
I'm glad we started with the history of it, because again, we celebrated the first ever uniform this week, because it does remind you of what it feels like to be part of a team. Everyone's got, a purpose. They're on a team together, winning together. That's why Jeter always said no names on the Yankee uniforms, because the only one that matters is the one on the front. And think about it. Like, take it back to your...
Can I roll my eyes at that?
You can roll your eyes. That's what it means to be a team and not an individual. I think it makes perfect sense.
Then why did dumb Guidos then rock Aaron Judge?
That's not right. I've never been a fan of it. That just shows they're a fan of that guy, but whatever. When you were a kid, throw it back on a Thursday or whenever you're watching this, we appreciate it. When you would show up to high school and you were part of the baseball team or football team, and you wore your jersey to school that day, you felt like you were part of something.
Listen.
You felt there was no cooler feeling in the world than when you put on your high school or college jersey and you wore it to campus, you wore it to high school, through the hallways. You felt like a badass.
Listen, Linda,
and that's how the fans feel when they get geared up and ready to watch the NBA Finals and they throw their jerseys on. You're part of the team. You're part of something. So these things do matter.
You're a guy that thought you were cool your whole life.
Yeah.
In high school, he doesn't correct me. He's like, yeah, I've been fucking cool forever. And as a guy like me, who I was a bit of a nerd back in the day, but when I played sports, the days... suck my ass, Spot. When I was a kid, those high school days where I got to wear my jersey in the hallway might have been the only days I did feel cool.
Didn't you feel like you floated down the hallway?
It was like the only days where I'm like, a girl might like me.
I was gliding.
I'd be rocking my A-Train carry jersey in the hallway. We were black and orange, and man, those are the days, man.
That's why these things are cool.
Well, if we're talking about uniforms, let me throw one more thing at you here on Overpromised. I know you give very little of a shit compared to me, but I love the City Connects in baseball. I love the alternate color rush jerseys in the NFL.
I like them as a consumer, meaning like when the Mets unveiled their
Yeah.
City Connects, I was like, that's a dope hat.
But
Like
the
if I was
bridge,
a Mets fan, I'd want to buy that. So I like different options
Well,
as a fan. Like, yo, I want to buy that one. That's cool.
Listen, I do like it. In the NBA, they call them the Statement or the City Edition. Baseball, City Connect. NFL, Color Rush. The NFL unveiled a new one today.
I'm a fan of this one.
That because of the name, the
Yeah.
Vikings, and you're thinking, Skull and everyone on a big ship. And if you think of an actual Viking, what do they call them? These spot?
The Winter Warriors.
The Winter Warriors.
Where's this guy? I'm right here.
The Winter Warriors.
The all-white Winter Warriors.
This looks like some Game of Thrones shit. I love it.
It's more than all white.
It's all right.
Get it? These are clean and crispy.
This intro.
Yeah, I'm getting a little excited.
Do you think JJ McCarthy has a boner watching this? Do you think?
I mean, I kind of do right now.
Do you think Justin Jefferson's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
look fresh?
Oof. Honestly, let me rephrase. These are crispity crunchity. These are some crispy ass, clean, fresh new uniforms, and Vikings fans have to be excited about it. I'm not a Vikings fan. I think they're dope.
I heard only one negative comment.
Really?
And it said, fat linemen do not look good in all white like that. Honestly, it makes you look fatter.
I never wear all white.
Yeah, but in football, like, you want to be big. You want to look
freaking
big.
beach ball.
You're not trying to look slim and trim. That's clean. I like it a lot. Props to the Vikings' new all-white Winter Warriors. I think it's cool.
Hey, little uniform history, schooling you here on Overpromised. Now, something Covino brought up the other day on our Fox Sports radio show we never got a chance to get to. So, hey, this is what we do here on Overpromised.
Look, our Fox Sports radio show is action-packed. We have 2 hours Monday through Friday, so that's why we need this show. You realize that there's a big turnover in sports, new names all the time. But there's a new crop of must-watches. Look, I'll give props to the guys that are bringing it that we've been talking about for a while now. Shohei Ohtani bringing it.
You say
right?
turnover? Don't have too many if you're a lineman on the Vikings.
Exactly, and those new all-whites. Soto, as a Yankees fan, I'm just amazed by how great he is watching him day to day. But he's been around for a minute now. I'm talking about the new crop of must-watch athletes, and you could add to the list. Get involved, stay interactive, agree or disagree, at Covino and Rich, at Fox Sports Radio. And I'll kick it off with, well, you know what? The number one.
I can't argue. Covino and I put together 5 people, and I think good luck adding another. And we challenge it. At Covino and Rich, who are we forgetting? This is must-watch in the world of sports right now.
Okay, in no particular order. How about that? He just pitched yesterday.
Yeah.
He just pitched yesterday, let up 3 runs, but still got the W, 3-0, right? 3-0 now.
And
Paul Skeens, mustached man, throwing 100 miles per hour.
And on top of that his girlfriend's Livy Dunn. Like, everything about him is...
You're done. You're done.
Everything about this guy is intriguing, interesting, throws 100, giving some life to a great baseball town, Pittsburgh, who hasn't had a winner in a second. Plus, like I said, the Livy Dunn angle only makes it more intriguing because his hot girlfriend's on standby, so...
I mean, when you're throwing 100 plus and you're striking out Shohei Ohtani, and it was a heavyweight battle if you saw it, man. He struck out Shohei, then Shohei hit a home run off of him. It's
that was...
Wow, this is cool.
That was... must-watch baseball.
Yeah.
There's very few times you could say there's must-watch baseball in June, but when Ohtani strikes out on 300-mile-an-hour pitches in a row from Skeens, and then in the next at-bat hits a bomb, that shit's really good for baseball.
But you're seeing this
Skeens,
young rookie translate in the MLB. He's legit, and so far it's been must-watch. We don't care about the Pirates, but I care about what did he do? Wow, what's he doing? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Got me tuning in.
A battle.
There's probably no bigger name in the world of sports right now than the next one on our list here. Like I said, no particular order, but must watch. Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
She's the definition of it. People are tuning in to the WNBA, breaking ratings because of her.
Well, don't tell Angel Reese that.
Do you want to add her to the list?
No. I do enjoy some Angel Reese highlights, but I think that...
Angel Reese this week said it all started because of this.
It may have, but...
Because of the ring.
I do think that it really is all Caitlin Clark driven. Angel Reese is great. There's a lot of great young women in the NBA, but it's Caitlin Clark. She's the must watch. I you know me, I'm not like all about this whole trend, but People are watching,
Dude,
and it's because of her. You can't deny
Never
it.
really cared much about the WNBA, and she's doing exactly what the WNBA wants people to do. To watch now because of her.
I heard Charles,
she hooked me in. I'm watching, and you know why else I'm watching, Rich? Not only to see her do well, but because everyone's hating on her so much.
Oh, you want to see that? Yeah.
I just want to see her put it in everybody's face. Like, bam!
Your boy, CB, Charles Barkley, I don't know if I agree with him or not. He's saying that the WNBA has a couple months now, June, July, where nothing's going on. Before football, after basketball and hockey, there's going to be a summer month or so where if you're not a baseball person, the WNBA has an opportunity to really take it to the next level. And he's saying, make it about basketball. Yeah, not about the drama. I feel like the drama needs to be part of the equation.
I mean, how about both?
Yeah.
I like the drama. I like good basketball, but I like the drama too. So it's working.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever gets people watching. So Caitlin Clark has to be on the list. Again, this is the new crop of must watches.
Let me add someone that unfortunately they had to check in on this guy at a hotel out here in Los Angeles today because he's so all over the place that you worry about him sometimes. But my goodness, in the ring, on social media, undeniable that Ryan Garcia is must watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's going through some stuff like Rich said. His mom has cancer now, so he's sort of bumming about that. People are concerned about him. He seemed unhinged in the last fight, but definitely a must-watch guy. No question.
If you've never seen his interview with that
King Ryan.
with that social media girl, Bobby,
Yeah, he's wild.
that shit is funny.
Because you don't know what to expect. You know, are we going to see something great? Are we going to see something crazy? Ryan Garcia, not only in the ring, outside the ring, is a must-watch. In fact, watch out for that guy. He's a must-watch guy.
Yeah. They had to check in on him today. Hopefully he's all good. Now, influencer or boxer? I don't know how you even categorize this guy, but tomorrow's the day.
Boxer.
Tomorrow, June 7th, we find out if and when the rescheduled fight happens against Mike Tyson. I'm hoping there's a date. There's some people saying, like, there's no new date.
So again, of course, Mike Tyson is a must-watch guy. He's the most intriguing guy on the planet. But this is like the new crop of must-watch.
Here's
people.
the guy that made it happen, though.
Jake Paul's the guy. He's definitely the guy. Again, he's been around for a minute, but definitely still the guy. Part of the new crew of people. He's new in boxing. You gotta watch what he does.
Dude, it pains me to say the problem child's must watch, but he is. He made the Tyson thing happen. You know, I talked to, a bunch of guys I play softball with it. Some of the guys are 30, 40, 50. Yeah, even some guys 60-ish, right? And generationally, everyone wants to see the same thing. Yo, how badly do you want to see Mike Tyson whoop his ass? Because Jake Paul's created this villainous problem child persona, which means he's doing a good job. If someone is so hateable and a villain, that means they're great. So Jake Paul, props to you.
Great for the sport. Even Tyson will tell you he's great for the sport. Like I said, gets people watching. And you know who gets me watching UFC? I mean, again, you could add to the list. We're just giving you the ones that we thought came to mind first. Sugar Sean O'Malley. I mean, flashy, the tattoos, the look, the hair, the smack talk. I mean, he's so out there and on his come up still because, again, not everybody knows him, but as a fight fan, I'm like, this guy's legit. He's the real deal. He's he's continuing where Conor McGregor left off a little bit.
I think there's a lot of people at the Tom Brady roast that were like, yo, who's that weird looking guy sitting with Dana White?
Exactly.
And I think that's a lot of times.
Not everybody knows him.
But he's on the... If you watch UFC, which we do, you know him, but there's a lot of people discovering him sort of now.
Exactly, yeah. The non-fight fans, UFC guys, but Sugar Sean O'Malley's must watch just because you might see greatness, right? You might see something crazy happen or someone beat him, which is even crazier. And because all these guys are must watch people, you do hear beef between Garcia and Jake Paul. You do hear beef between Garcia and O'Malley. Right? So you might see some crossover fights as a result, but those are the guys we put on the absolute new crop of must-watch people.
He's 18-1. Who's his one loss against? Do you even know off the top of your head or no?
Sugar Sean O'Malley? No, off the top of my head, no.
He's bringing it now.
But look, an L doesn't matter as much in UFC as it does in boxing. The people lose. That's life.
Oh, dude, it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah. So there it is, man. That's our list. You add to it at Covino and Rich, hashtag Covino rules. No, hashtag must watch.
Now,
new crop of must watch, whatever.
During the football season, Overpromised is always sponsored by our friends at DraftKings. Code CR Show. You get your hookup at DraftKings. You know who was putting a little wager on not only the NBA Finals, but the NHL Stanley Cup Finals?
Your dad.
Oh, no, not my dad.
Oh, the Oilers.
Oh, the the Celtic Tatum.
Oh.
No, the guy who some say is bad luck, the curse. Other people say, no, that's old news. Some people are saying he lost to Kendrick Lamar. He can't lose anymore. Drake has made 2 significant bets equaling $1 million. He bet $500,000.
Yeah, he's smiling now.
He bet $500,000 on the Mavs and $500,000 on the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay, so here's the question. If he's cursed, right, but you believe in what he's betting on, do you roll with him? Do you roll with Drake here?
Well, if you look at the numbers, his mill, if the Mavs and the Oilers both win, his million, he wins $2.4 million.
Hey,
so
make your money work for you. If you're that confident, as Rich always says, if you're that confident, and I got to say, I'm pretty confident that the Mavericks got this.
Hey, you're forgetting
but not like
that,
super confident where I'm putting my money on it.
You're forgetting that the Mavs sort of cakewalk through the NBA Eastern Conference.
They just look fantastic.
The Mavs were tested. The Mavs played great games. The Celtics, it's almost like when a team moonwalks into the World Series or Super Bowl, you're like, were they tested? That's the question. Were the Celtics tested? I don't know. So, are you going Mavs Oilers, or are you putting your money with Drake? I think it might. You might not want to put $1 million, but why not parlay him? Do a hundo, right?
Well, I'm more of 1,000 there, Rich. So maybe I don't know, $5 or something I'll put down. I don't know. We'll see. They pay us in meatballs.
Do you mean the price of a cup of coffee? You're a really big spender.
Are you going to put money on it?
You know what?
On both or just one?
I think for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Code CR Show at DraftKings Sportsbook. I think parlay hundo.
$100?
$100 parlay.
I'll think about
win
it.
a few hundo. Why not?
What are you
Oilers,
gonna
Mavs. Let's go.
All right. Again, CRSHOW. Use that code. But enjoy the NBA Finals. Enjoy your Stanley Cup Finals this weekend, and send this to a friend. And by the way, hit us up at Covino and Rich and catch us on the Fusco Show. We're going to be on the Fusco
nice.
Show. Yeah. So thank you guys very much.
Hey, Spot, is that you on guitar?
Leave me alone. I'm wailing.
I feel like I'm Hollywood Hogan walking out to Voodoo Child or something. All right, we'll see you guys. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the Overpromised land.
Goodbye.